When Friends ended in 2004, all 6 cast members had proven they could be part of one of the biggest shows in television history. But here's the thing that nobody really talks about. Just because you're on a successful show doesn't mean you're the best actor on that show. Just because you played a character that everyone loved doesn't mean you had the most talent or the best acting skills. The Friends cast had 6 incredibly talented people, but they didn't all have the same level of training. They didn't all make the same career choices after the show. They didn't all achieve the same level of critical acclaim. And when you actually look at acting ability, training, range, and career trajectory, the rankings become very different from what people might expect. In this video, we're ranking all 6 Friends cast members by actual acting ability and career success as of 2026. And I'm warning you right now, the results will shock you. Some of you are going to disagree with these rankings. Some of you are going to be angry. Some of you might even feel like I'm disrespecting your favorite actor. But I'm basing these rankings on objective criteria like training, range, critical acclaim, and the actual quality of their work as actors. Not on how much you liked them on Friends, not on how famous they are, but on actual acting ability. So let's get into it. Before we start the rankings, let me explain the criteria I'm using. First, theater and training background. Did this person study acting seriously? Did they have professional training? Did they understand the craft at a deep level? Second, post-Friends career respect. After Friends ended, did they continue to do quality work? Did they challenge themselves as actors? Did they take roles that showed their range? Third, emotional range shown. Can this actor play comedy? Can they play drama? Can they do both equally well? Can they bring depth to any character they play? Fourth, award recognition. Did critics recognize their work? Did they win awards? Did they get nominated for major awards? Fifth, ability to disappear into a role. When you watch this actor, do you see the character or do you see the actor? Can they truly disappear into a role or are they always playing themselves? And sixth, critical acclaim. What do actual critics and other actors think about this person's work? Not fans, but people in the industry. So with those criteria in mind, let's rank the Friends cast by actual acting ability. Coming in at number 6 with a score of 6.5 out of 10 is Matt LeBlanc. Now, before you get mad, let me explain this. Matt LeBlanc played Joey Tribbiani for 10 seasons, and he did a great job with that role. Joey was a character that didn't require massive emotional range or deep character work. Joey was funny. Joey was charming. Matt played that role perfectly. But the question is, what has Matt done since Friends to prove he has the range and the acting ability of a truly great actor? Matt had some successful television roles after Friends, including Top Gear, which was more about his personality than his acting ability. But he hasn't really taken on roles that challenged him as an actor. He hasn't done major dramatic work. He hasn't shown that he can do serious, dark, complex characters. His filmography post-Friends is solid, but not impressive from a pure acting standpoint. Matt is a consistent working actor, but he's not pushing himself. He's not challenging himself. And that's fine. Not every actor needs to be at the absolute top. But in terms of pure acting ability and range, Matt doesn't rank as high as the other cast members. Coming in at number 5 with a score of 7.2 out of 10 is Jennifer Aniston. And yes, I know this is going to make some people really angry. Jennifer Aniston is one of the most famous actresses in the world. She's gorgeous. She's charismatic. She's charming. Her comedic timing on Friends was excellent. Nobody disputes that. But here's the thing. Jennifer Aniston's post-Friends career has been marked more by her persona and her brand than by her actual acting ability. She's made a lot of movies, but when you really look at the quality of those movies and the depth of her performances, it's not as impressive as people think. She's played a lot of versions of herself. She's been very successful commercially, but critically, not so much. Her dramatic performances have been less impressive than her comedic ones. And when you compare her actual acting ability to the other cast members, she doesn't rank as high. This doesn't mean Jennifer Aniston is a bad actress. It means she's a good actress with a very strong personal brand who has leveraged that brand incredibly well. But in terms of pure acting skill and range, she doesn't match the top tier of her castmates. The truth is that Jennifer's looks and charm have been her biggest biggest assets in her career, not necessarily her acting ability. And that's not a criticism. That's just the reality of how Hollywood works. Coming in at number 4 with a score of 7.8 out of 10 is Courteney Cox. Courteney played Monica Geller for 10 seasons, and she brought a lot more emotional intelligence to that role than people give her credit for. Monica is a character that requires understanding her anxieties, her need for control, her fear of abandonment, her desperate desire to be a perfect mother and wife. Courteney brought all of that to the character. She did some really good work. Her film career post-Friends was solid. She did the Scream franchise, which showed she could handle action and horror. She's been a consistent working actress. She's made good choices, but in terms of critical acclaim, in terms of pushing herself as an actor, in terms of the depth of her performances, she doesn't quite reach the level of the actors above her on this list. Courteney is underrated as an actress. Her work on Friends is better than people realize, and her career has been solid and respectable, but she hasn't had the kind of breakout dramatic roles or the critical recognition that the top actors on this list have achieved. She's a very good actress, but not a great one. Coming in at number 3 with a score of 8.4 out of 10 is Matthew Perry. Matthew Perry deserves credit for something that most people don't fully appreciate. Playing Chandler Bing required a very specific kind of acting ability. Chandler's character is centered around comedic timing. Every single line of dialogue requires perfect timing. Every joke requires the right delivery, and Matthew nailed it. His comedic timing is elite. It's world-class. You could argue that his comedic timing is the best on the show. But beyond that, Matthew also had to play the emotional depth of Chandler. Chandler is a guy who is funny because he's actually sad. He's using humor as a defense mechanism. He's dealing with trauma and insecurity. And Matthew brought that depth to the character. He could deliver a punchline that would make you laugh, but he could also break your heart in the same scene. That's real acting ability. Post-Friends, Matthew took on more dramatic roles. He showed that he could do serious work. His acting quality never declined. But his career trajectory post-Friends was less impressive than some of the other cast members because of his personal struggles. He was dealing with addiction and depression, which affected his work. But in terms of pure acting ability and range, Matthew has serious skills. He's an underrated actor because people remember him as the funny guy. But he's actually very talented. Coming in at number 2 with a score of 8.7 out of 10 is Lisa Kudrow. Lisa Kudrow is one of the most underrated actresses working today. Here's why she ranks so high. Lisa brought something truly unique to Friends. Phoebe Buffay is a character that could have been one-dimensional and annoying, but Lisa brought incredible nuance and depth to the role. Phoebe is weird, but Lisa's Phoebe is weird in a way that's sympathetic and endearing. She's funny, but her comedy comes from a real place. She's got a tragic backstory. She's been through trauma, and Lisa brought all of that to the character. Her comedic timing is unique. It's not traditional sitcom timing. It's more experimental. It's almost impossible to replicate, and that takes real acting ability. Beyond Friends, Lisa has shown incredible range. She did Web Therapy, which was a dramatic web series where she played a very different character. She's done voice acting. She's done film and television. She's been selective about her roles, which shows she has artistic standards. She's never become a huge movie star, but in terms of critical respect and artistic integrity, she's one of the best. She's an actress who is respected by other actors and by critics because she takes her craft seriously, and she does excellent work. And finally, coming in at number 1 with a score of 9.1 out of 10 is David Schwimmer. And I know some of you are going to be shocked by this. David Schwimmer is the best actor on the Friends cast. Here's why. David went to Northwestern University and studied acting seriously. He had professional theater training. He understood acting as a craft at a deep level. He brought method acting sensibilities to the role of Ross Geller. He played Ross as a complex, layered character. Ross could be funny, but he could also be heartbroken. He could be insecure. He could be desperate. He could be intellectual. David brought incredible depth to that character. It's not a flashy role. It's not a role that makes people laugh the loudest. But it's a role that requires real acting ability, Beyond Friends, David has done extraordinary work as a director. His directorial work shows a deep understanding of the craft of acting. He knows how to work with actors. He knows how to bring depth to characters. He's directed some really impressive television and film work. He's also done theater, which is where serious actors do their best work. David has never become a huge movie star, and some people might say that means his career wasn't as successful as some of the others. But in terms of actual acting ability, in terms of critical respect in the industry, in terms of the depth and quality of his work, David Schwimmer is the most talented actor on the Friends cast. He's the most respected by other actors and by critics. He's the one who has used his talent most seriously and most intentionally. Now, let me address the controversial takes. First, why is Jennifer Aniston ranked 5th? This shocks people because Jennifer is the most famous, the most successful, the most recognized. But actual acting ability and fame are not the same thing. Jennifer Aniston's career has been driven by her persona, her brand, her looks, and her charm, not by the quality of her acting performances. She's an excellent comedic actress, but she's not a great dramatic actress. She's never done the kind of serious, challenging work that the actors ranked above her have done. That doesn't make her a bad actress. It makes her a very successful actress who has leveraged her strengths incredibly well. But in terms of pure acting ability, she doesn't rank as high as people think. Second, why is David Schwimmer ranked number 1 when his career is less commercially successful than Jennifer Aniston's or even Matt LeBlanc's? Because commercial success and acting ability are not the same thing. David has never been a big movie star. He's never had the kind of blockbuster career that some of the others have. But he's done incredibly respected work. He's respected by critics and by other actors. His directing work is impressive. His understanding of the craft is deep. In terms of actual acting ability, David is the most talented. Commercial success is different from artistic respect. Third, why is Lisa Kudrow ranked so high? Because Lisa Kudrow is an incredibly talented actress who doesn't get nearly enough credit. Her comedic timing is unique and brilliant. Her range is impressive. Her work is respected by critics and by industry people. But because she hasn't become a huge movie star, people don't realize how talented she is. Lisa Kudrow is proof that you don't need to be famous to be a great actor. You just need to do great work. And Lisa does great work. What this ranking really shows is the difference between fame and talent. What this ranking really shows is that the most famous person is not necessarily the most talented. What this ranking shows is that commercial success and critical respect are very different things. The Friends cast had 6 very talented people, but they didn't all have the same level of training. They didn't all pursue the same kind of careers after the show. They didn't all prioritize acting above all else. Some of them prioritized being movie stars. Some of them prioritized doing interesting work. Some of them prioritized their personal lives, and those different priorities led to different outcomes. David Schwimmer prioritized being a serious actor and a director. That led to critical respect but less commercial success. Jennifer Aniston prioritized being a movie star and building a brand. That led to massive commercial success but less critical respect for her acting. Lisa Kudrow prioritized doing interesting work and maintaining artistic integrity. That led to critical respect but less fame. Matt LeBlanc prioritized having a comfortable life and steady work. That led to a solid career, but not the kind of challenging, dramatic work that proves acting range. Matthew Perry dealt with personal struggles, but he still did good work and showed real acting ability. Courtney Cox did solid work and made good choices, but she didn't push herself in the way that some of the others did. So, what does this ranking mean? It means that if you're looking for the best actor, the answer is David Schwimmer. If you're looking for the most successful person, the answer is probably Jennifer Aniston. If you're looking for the most underrated, the answer is Lisa Kudrow. If you're looking for the best comedic timing, the answer is Matthew Perry. If you're looking for the most consistent, the answer is Courtney Cox. And if you're looking for the most private and the most focused on family, the answer is Matt LeBlanc. They're all good at different things. But in terms of pure acting ability and range, David Schwimmer is the best. The Friends cast represents something interesting about Hollywood. It shows that being on a hit TV show doesn't require being the best actor in the world. It requires being good at comedy, having good chemistry with your castmates, and showing up and doing the work. All 6 of them did that. All 6 of them were good at that, but they had different levels of training, different approaches to their craft, and different career priorities. And that's why, when you actually look at acting ability, the rankings are very different from what people might expect. This is not to say that the actors ranked lower are bad. They're not. They're all very talented. But the question was, who is the best actor? And the answer, based on training, range, critical acclaim, and the depth of their work, is David Schwimmer. That might shock you. That might make you angry. But if you really think about acting ability and not just fame and success, it makes sense. David Schwimmer is the best actor on the Friends cast. Subscribe to CelebTruth for more analysis of your favorite celebrities, deep dives into their careers, and rankings that will spark debates in the comments. In our next video, we're revealing the most shocking behind-the-scenes secrets that will change how you think about Friends forever. And trust me, some of these secrets will blow your mind. Thanks for watching CelebTruth, and please drop a comment below and tell me if you agree with these rankings or if you think I got them completely wrong. Which actor do you think is the best? Do you think Jennifer Aniston should be ranked higher? Do you think David Schwimmer deserves the #1 spot? Let's debate in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.